I'm Gareth Hinds, and I do graphic novels based on the classics, and my most recent book is Macbeth. I love teachers. Teachers are my biggest fans, and I'm a huge fan of yours. And a lot of what I'm doing now is for teachers. When I first started out, I was just making the books that I wanted to make, and Beowulf was one of my favorite classics, and I wanted to retell this action story. But now that I really understand how much of a valuable tool this can be in the classroom, I really want to I want to help kids enjoy these classics, and I want that to be a valuable tool for teachers to be able to use it in the classroom, not just to get the kids introduced to the classic, but I think reading it in that graphic novel form makes it accessible to them in a way that allows them to dig deeper into the text and to go after themes and imagery and symbolism and all that good stuff that you want them to be able to pull out that sometimes they can't because they're struggling with the language. So to me, that's very important, and it's very gratifying to hear when that works and when teachers are using my books in the classroom. I just love that. I think we all love stories, and I think that sometimes we don't necessarily enjoy, or we can't appreciate all the good qualities of a story, and especially I think this is true for the classics, and it's one of the reasons why I like to turn the classics into graphic novels, is because they really are cool stories, but it can be hard to sort of get to that coolness because you're struggling with the language a little bit. But first of all, I think it's worth it. I think that struggle is worthwhile, and you learn a lot from it. But also, you can find other stories that are told in other ways, whether it's a graphic novel or it's a picture book or it's an animation, and you're still reading, you're still getting, you're going on that journey, and you're using your imagination. And I think you find those stories that you really like and that you really enjoy, and then gradually that will expand your comfort with other material to read. And then hopefully, for example, with my books, you can learn to really, to love Beowulf, and then you can read the original Beowulf, and you already know what the story is, and it'll be a lot easier and more fun. I've always drawn. I've been drawing since I was, a toddler, and I started to want to tell picture stories, and I knew from reading picture books growing up that I wanted to have a picture and some text. But I wasn't really that good at figuring out what exactly were the words going to be, and so I have this little book where I wrote, I drew all these elaborate pictures, and then I wrote, I will not write anything in my 5-year-old phonetic spelling, and I do not want to write at all. And so I always wanted to tell these stories, but I mostly wanted to do it with pictures. And that kind of predicted my future, my present, because I do definitely try to let the pictures do a lot of the work. And even though I'm working with these really kind of hard-hitting, exquisite words by people like Shakespeare and Homer, I'm still using the imagery to do most of the heavy lifting of the story, and even to remove a lot of narration when I can, and just have the text be dialogue. My first book was Beowulf, which of course is a great Old English epic about a monster hunting Viking warrior. And then I did King Lear and The Merchant of Venice, 2 of Shakespeare's great plays. And then The Odyssey, which is probably my most popular book. And then after that, Romeo and Juliet, which of course is Shakespeare's most beloved, most popular play. And now Macbeth, the Scottish play. I love Macbeth. It is also definitely one of the great plays of Shakespeare. It is wonderful. It has such wonderful supernatural imagery. So that was just, I knew that was going to be really fun to illustrate, and especially all the stuff with the ghosts and the apparitions and the hallucinations that he has. That stuff was all incredibly fun to illustrate. It's also just, it's a great play about free will, not just about murder and guilt and things that hopefully we never encounter in our real lives, but about this notion of how, just how we choose to live with the information and how we use the information we're given. I find Macbeth and Lady Macbeth to be really interesting, compelling characters. There's so much strength there, but also, of course, things that just go subtly wrong that get magnified into horrible mistakes.